Hey you guys, welcome back to CBS Soapdish Recap, and I had to do a video on this one today. So for those that have already seen today's episode, it was crazy to say the least. But did you guys catch at the end when Sheila was talking about how it's Steffy's fault that her husband Finn is now dead? Now, before everybody get in a tizzy, there is some interesting concepts to this, because I don't know if you've listened to our podcast. This has came up several times about Steffy's behavior in that alley, which she could have inadvertently avoided his death. And we're going to talk about it. But I'm going to start off by saying, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash the like button and drop a comment down in the comment section below. Join us too every week when we recap both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful. And we appreciate all of the new subscribers that has come over to the channel so far. So without further ado, I want you guys to check this out and let me know what you think. And we're going to intermittently come back and I'm going to break this whole thing down so we can kind of get some answers. Here we go.
You're the one that took his daddy away from him. You. This never would have happened if you would have shown me any kind of compassion, understanding, kindness. But no, Steffy, you were too selfish for that. You want to blame this on me? But you know what really happened? I didn't chase after you. You came after me. Finn would still be here if it weren't for you. You'd still have your husband. And Hayes would still have his daddy, but no. No, you had to come after me. You had to attack me. I defended my relationship with my son. This is on you. Finn's blood is on your hands, Steffy. Yours. No, you're not. No, it's not.
Okay, so we're going to cut in for a minute. As you guys remember in today's episode, yeah, she flipped the script. Now, I gotta say that Sheila gaslight the hell out of her early on, trying to make her question what she actually saw in the alley and what she remembered. She even threw Liam in the middle of this, saying that she thought at one point that Liam was her husband, that her mind was foggy. So that was one hell of a gaslight. Seriously. Now, she finally admitted to shooting Finn, right? But she also now switched it off onto her as her being the cause of his death because of what she did in that alley. And for you guys who have been following our podcast, we have talked about this. Some people actually agree with Sheila in this case. There are quite a few that says, nope, Sheila, this is all on you. But we're going to jump into the clip and go back and rewind time to actually see what Sheila may be referring to. Let's go to the clip.
I tried, Steffy, I really did. Let go of me. No. You let go of the idea that you have any say in this. You think I'm not welcome? You think I'm not going to have a place in my son's life, my grandson's? You think again. I don't want to fight with you, Sheila. No. But neither. I don't want anyone to get hurt. I know what I want. I want my son's wife to accept me, to love me. Allow me in, please. Never, Steffy. No, you're never gonna be accepted. Never loved. Not by me, and certainly not by Finn. Not anymore. I'm not letting my parents start a life together based on a lie. Would you stop being so high and mighty? I'm on anyone's team but yours. Anyone who's willing to join me to get you away from Finn and my son. The losing team. No one is ever going to keep me away from Finn and Hayes. Not even you, Steffy. Bad for Finn. He thought this was all a misunderstanding, that I was wrong about you. But once he hears what you've been saying, how you've been talking to me, he's gonna hate you as much as I do. Why? Why do you have to fight me? Why can't you just accept me and care for me the way I want to? I don't want anything to do with you, Sheila. Knowing that you're thinking about me, my family, that is my worst nightmare. You're sick. You're unhinged. You shot my mother. Maybe she can forgive you, but I can't. You hurt Brooke to have access to Finn and Hayes. Access you're never gonna have. Because you say so. That's right. Finn is my husband. Hayes is my son. I'm in control. So no one to give up. Never. Everyone's gonna know what you did, Sheila. Everyone's gonna know the truth. That's not gonna happen. Steffy, I can stop you. From going to my father? Not a chance. I will. That's what you don't get, Sheila. You don't have a relationship. Not with Finn. Not with Hayes. You're never gonna see them again. You'll never see them again. Never. You'll never see them again. Never again. Never again. Never again. Never again.
So let's preface this first with, if you guys are going to say it's just a soap, then don't watch. But we're going to have a little kicks and giggles with this whole thing. So what this all comes down to is that there were many opportunities for Steffy to get out of this situation. She had to know that Finn was looking for her. She obviously had the opportunity to, go and tell her family. But you don't argue. And you don't try to handle a situation when a psychopath or people that have psychopathic tendencies or suppress psychopathy. You don't push the envelope with people like that. She had plenty opportunities. It's one thing if Sheila immediately pulled out the gun, pointed it at her, and let go. But when, Steffy was like, hey, I don't want this to get out of hand. Sheila even said, I don't want anybody to get hurt. And when Sheila turned her back several times in this scene. This was her opportunity to leave. Now, I've also spoken with other fans who said she should have just told Sheila anything to get out of that situation. She could have easily said, when they were talking about the whole thing with Brooke, because that's how all this started in the first place. Sheila breaking Brooke's sobriety and the secret that Thomas kept, and Steffy was sniffing around and she found out about it and she accosted her. And that's the thing, Steffy tried, and I gotta say this, I kind of would have wanted the way that Taylor tried to handle it in the beginning. Keep an eye on her and watch her close. But Steffy was trying to tell Finn, you can't talk to your mother. She wanted to control that situation. And even at the end of this, right before her husband got killed, she was like, I am in control. When you're dealing with a sociopath or a psychopath, you're not in control. You're just not. And for her to actually go through this whole back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, when she should have just made up something, fine, I'll keep the secret, and blow her out the water with the family, blow her out the water, being that Finn already knew. She could have went back and told them everything, but she wanted to stay in that alley arguing and trying to assert her control over Sheila. There's a whole theory that most people probably have heard of, is you don't poke the bear. And in this situation, this is probably what Sheila might have been referring to. Now, Sheila, I'm not absolving her. She has a lot to be accountable for. Granted, did Brooke also poke the bear? Yes. I honestly think that, you should leave crazy alone. Leave crazy people alone. But that whole thing, all this is started because, of course, Brooke got in her face at El Giardino when she was trying to tell her to stay away from Hayes, and Brooke thought all of a sudden it's her family. Well, I guess it's her husband's family. Okay, fine. But it led into these string of events. It's like people like her, Ashlyn, even Adam, and I'm an Adam fan, don't mess with these people. And now we got Diane in the mix. When you got these people who you choose to continue to poke, push, and in even Steffy and Sheila's case, she fought her on this whole thing. Bad things have happened. We saw it happen with Ashlyn. Victoria and all them thought they could manipulate him out of his company. You see how that worked out, right? He turned around and flipped the script on them. And then now Adam is about to try to manipulate the family, because as much as he tried to redeem himself, they kept giving him the shaft. Leave these people alone. If they're going to show who they really are, they are without your help. And so this whole, getting back to the whole thing with Brooke and Steffy, this whole back and forth that they're having shouldn't have happened. Steffy had plenty of opportunities to get out of that situation. Now, I know with Tanner Novlin, who plays Finn, he has other projects, so they had to exit him out of the show. Okay, fine. And like I said, we're just doing this for kicks and giggles, and especially after today's episode where Sheila totally blamed pretty much this whole thing with Finn's death on Steffy. So I wanted to discuss this with you guys. I know there's going to be a various amount of opinions on this situation because it's a hot mess. There is no way Steffy should have been in that alley telling her how she's going to control this situation. She does not have this situation under control. Her best bet was the moment that she got free. Because remember, I showed you guys the scene where Sheila had her up against the dumpster, and then they both backed off from each other. That was the opportune time in that moment for Steffy to hightail it out of there. Call her husband and say, look, I ran into your mom. She tried to do this to me in the alley. And this is what happened. Go tell your dad. Go tell your mom. All of this could have been avoided, And so now she tells her how much you'll never do this and you'll never be this and I'm in control and you'll never have this and you'll always be crazy. You cannot continue to accost a crazy person like a Sheila Carter. And it cost her son's life. So in my eyes, both of them have some accountability to take in this whole thing. Sheila got a lot more than Steffy, but Steffy definitely had the opportunity to get herself out of that situation, to warn her husband, warn her family against what Sheila, had been doing to Brooke. And then what about Thomas? So let me know what you guys think. I know this is an interesting subject. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Stay tuned for our podcast this weekend.